Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. More Birthright here. Today we're wrapping up the Northlands. So much like with the Northlands and the Oaken Grove of Eric, here we're getting to see their counterpart, and that's the other major sort of priestly domain, and that is the Emerald Spiral. Massive organization here, so chaotic good recommended. The spiral appeals primarily to traditional Rearic and those who dwell in the wilder lands. It's the primary alternative to the more urban Oaken Grove of Eric. So as you can see, if you were taking this on, you have a ton of holdings, none of them above 2, but and also several zeros, but just the sheer weight of these provinces is impressive, right? So you're going to be able to do just fine on any goals that you have as far as expanding influence. So fair bit of regency for a temple, right? Especially in this area. 30 over 18 there, so 30 generated, 18 accumulated. Very solid treasury for what amounts to, nature worshippers here, right? It's not like the southerly temples with the major Anawirian gods, where really they're a political force in and of themselves and almost a territory in a certain way, where they have giant treasuries. 11 is massive for something like this. So the current regent, Greta Seligsdottir, another high-level character, level 12 priest here. Wonder what they were thinking too when they were going with the Rearic expansion here. And we see that with the Brecht a little bit, and even the Voss, right? Just lots of high-level characters that are in the teens. Not so much in the core and weird setting. We do have some, but not that many. But anyway, level 12 priest here, pretty good bloodline, chaotic good. Currently, she is the high priestess of this order, the temple most often patronized by the Rearic of the Wilderness. She's old and wise and discourages competition between the two temples, while secretly looking down upon what she considers the lack of tradition in the Oaken Grove of Eric. She also officially discourages conflict between nomadic and urban Rearic, but does little to stop it when it does arise. So, interesting position there. So, description. As noted, it's favored by traditional Rearic over its rival, the Oaken Grove. And just with that general conflict between urban and wild or traditional followers there, or just part of the Rearic culture, you have that happening at the political level, but also here at the religious level. So one really major religion, but just kind of, again, two sides of the same coin. And again, the Oaken Grove is more for the southern, more urbanized Rearic. The Spiral's members are mostly wilderness druids who live in the trackless lands of northern and eastern Rearic realms. Emerald Spiral druids tend to be more martial than those of the Grove, its members actively battling the humanoid and Anshe of the Rearic lands. Although this usually involves sabotage and misdirection of the enemy rather than open violence, the Emerald Spiral druids are still much less pacifistic than their city-dwelling counterparts, very much so. So it gives you a little something different there. And again, if you wanted to not rule a political realm, this has its, I wouldn't say tendrils, but it has its reach, basically all over the north here, right? You got Hjolvar, Kvigmar, some of these things that we haven't covered yet, even in the Giant Downs, Jankoping, Hogenmark, Svinnik, and Stjordvik. It's basically all over, right? Again, lots of holdings here. A lot of level 2s, tons of level 1s, but also some zeros. So plenty of time to really raise some of those up here and really just figure out the direction that you want to take. You could go down the path of really being a little bit more openly militant as far as dealing with the monsters and Anshe, which might, just eliminating those types of threats might sway more people toward your side, even some of the more urban Rearic, right? Because you're dealing with real threats there. That should increase the coffers as well. Probably let you roll up a little bit too. But then really it's just figuring out, can the two sides of the Rearic culture really coexist? Seems like going too far off one end or the other would be problematic. If they go too far the urban way, they'll lose more of what their culture is, become more just like the Anawirians. But if they go back to too much of the traditional ways, that really, kind of stunts their growth and opportunities there with trade and other things that really will only help them overall, but and maybe at the risk of, again, losing some of that tradition, some of those values. So it's a fun and complicated fun line to cross there, a difficult one to navigate. It's just just presents a wonderful opportunity there for folks to adventure and figure that out, and really just whatever the DM wants to throw at them. Plus, if other characters or the people playing in the campaign are also running like political realms up here, really just interesting how you can navigate that, again, with everything else that's going on. So let us know, guys, if you have tried with the Emerald Spiral, how that's worked, and how that's gone, how you expanded, or what other threats have you faced. Another one you could deal with here is, find or dealing with potential ways where maybe the DM wants to throw at you, like maybe the White Witch is also trying to just mess with your your organization here on the religious level as well, just to make more room for her agents and other things that she has planned. So always a lot going on, but let us know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more Birthright content like this early, head over to our Patreon, give us a look there. All the support helps, and there'll be other exclusive Birthright and D&D content on there for folks as well, but usually we'll have videos like this up there about a week early before they hit the YouTube channel. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.